Right, I thought I'd just give a quick run through on a few different chemicals we can use to sterilise our seeds or our plants. The most common one, which I'm pretty sure everyone's aware of, is good old bleach. So we've got our bleach here. I usually make it up in 100 mils, so I use 90 mils of demineralised distilled water and simply add 10 mils of bleach. And now to this I always add 1 drop of polysorbate 20 just as a wetting agent. Just allows the bleach to get into all the areas on the explant or seed that you're going to sterilise. So normally, depending on what you're going to sterilise, I would say between 5 and 10 minutes. Right, yeah, like most of the processes we use to sterilise plants material, it can be a bit of hit and miss. So some plants will last longer in the bleach before they start to break down. So you sort of have to hit and miss, trial and error yourself to see which works the best. But generally between the 5 to 10 minute mark, 5 minutes for softer plant material, up to 10 minutes for fairly woody material. But one of the drawbacks with the bleach is, of course, once we've soaked in the bleach, we need to rinse that bleach off in sterile water. Consecutive rinses, normally about 3 rinses before we can actually put it into our media, just to remove any bleach. We also need to trim the ends of the plants, because the bleach does leach into the cut ends of the material that we're using, so we need to trim that away because that's dead anyway. But generally it's pretty easy to work with. Can be a bit messy at times, and smell is not too good either. I really don't use the bleach method too much anymore. It's a fairly messy, time-consuming process with having to rinse the plants or seeds in distilled sterilised water as well, and the sheer that you've got to sterilise this water as well. Right, this is another formula you can use to sterilise seeds and plants with. Virkon S, I won't go into the details, but it's a veterinarian product for sterilising equipment, but you can also use it in tissue culture. Comes in a tablet, 5-gram tablet, or a sachet of 50 grams. The process, pretty straightforward. 500 mils of water, and 5 grams of Virkon. The tablets are 5 grams each, so it makes it pretty easy. These tablets are a little bit out of date. Normally they're a little bit pinker than that, but you get the effect. I don't use these much either at the moment. So really all we do is dissolve it in the water. It takes a little bit of time to dissolve, so and we use this pretty much exactly the same as bleach, normal bleach. Once you've sterilised your plant for the 5 to 10 minute mark, you need to rinse it off in sterilised water, the same as we do for bleach. So I think it is a little bit more effective than normal household bleach. Did have some good success with this, but like I said, this is a technique I don't use much anymore either. So yep, that's Virkon S tablets and powder here. You can pretty much get it off of eBay. It is a veterinarian supply, so your local veterinarian will also sell that if you're interested. This is also good for sterilising surfaces as well. Can react with aluminium, so just be careful when you're using non-aluminium and some metals. Alright, this is a bit of a home remedy, not made by me, but by someone else. And this is the process that I use all the time now. It works quite well. It's a lot better than bleach or the Virkon or any of the others at the moment. And the good thing about this, once you've actually rinsed it off or soaked it in this solution, just like the ppm solution, you can actually put the piece of plant or your seeds directly into your culture vessels without having to rinse them in sterilised water. So pretty much like ppm, you just take them straight out of the solution and put them into your meter. But it's pretty straightforward. So we've got in here, we've got 50 mils of white vinegar. Now just straight off the shelf white vinegar. Do yourself a favour and buy a more expensive brand, not the plain brand. So yep, 50 mils of that. And what I've done is heated this 50 mils of vinegar in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute. So it's reasonably warm at the moment. And what we also have in here is 200 mils of hydrogen peroxide, 3% peroxide. So all we do is once we've obviously got our heated vinegar here, and we add that to our peroxide and give it a stir. Right, for this to properly work, it needs to react, a little bit of time to react. So what I do is stick it in the fridge for about a minute. That allows the reaction in there to take place. For any more details on this, just go to the website and have a look there and some of the information. I've got the actual process on the website. It's a little bit more in depth than just showing you like this, but I thought I'd give you a look at it anyway. So we've had that, and so we've had that in the fridge for a minute and ready to go. Now all we need to do now, as like most of my sterilising techniques, I add the 1 drop of tween, and that's ready to go. So basically we can use this to sterilise seed. Alright, there's our solution there. Now, it's very similar to what we use ppm for, or how we use ppm, but the soak time is really short because of the reaction that's going on there. And like I said, if you need to know any more details, go to the website. There's actually a link on there to how this process goes about. But all you really need to know is that this is fairly reactive material, or liquid, so our soak times are very short, 1 to 4 minutes for some plant material, for like soft delicate plant material, or 5 to 10 minutes. Now I wouldn't go 10 minutes in this stuff, that's the recommended time, but I've found that maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes is enough. But it's all trial and error like anything. You need to trial it on your plant to see what the time the plant can take in this. So you basically want to expose it to it as long as possible, but not actually to the extent where it's destroyed the plant. So once we've soaked our plant or seeds in this, with the seeds it's just a simple matter of draining off the liquid, getting most of the moisture out of the seeds, and then planting them straight into your media. No need to rinse them in sterilised water, like I said. With the explant or plant material, you will still need to trim the ends off, like I showed you before in a couple of the other videos when using bleach. This does tend to burn the ends as the same as bleach does, but all you need to do is trim the ends off and then place that straight into your culture vessels, and you're good to go. Alright, this is how I go about making my sterilising solution using ppm plant preservative mixture. This is probably the easiest to use and make, also the most expensive as well. It probably, yeah, I use it for seed more than anything. It's really good on seed, but when you're using it on plant material, it really doesn't kill the fungal spores or bacteria. Really just prevents them from growing. So down the track, once you've a plant going in culture for some time, you may get contamination again if you're not using this continually to keep that contamination down. So it can be a little bit hit and miss in that regards, but I still do use it in my media. So like I've shown in most of my videos, I put 0.5 ml per litre into my media, which does help. But to use it as a sterilising solution for seed or plant material, it's pretty straightforward. All I use is, before I make my media, or as I make my media, we add our MS salts. Of course, give it a bit of a stir in. Right, so we've got our MS salts in there. So before we go any further and add anything else, like any of our sugar or plant growth regulators or anything like that, we'll take out 50 mils. And that's all we need. So we'll put that away and we'll make our media up properly later. And there's our 50 mils now. All that is distilled water and our MS salts in there, and just a simple matter of adding 2 mils of our ppm to that solution. Alright, that is really good for seeds. But it does take a fair soak. For some seeds it can be 24-hour soak in there, and it's really gentle on the plant material as well, so it can be very forgiving. So if you forget about them for a little while, you can come back to them, they'll still be fine. Plant material, like I said, I don't use it too much for that, to sterilise it, but once again it is really good. Leave your plant material in there for, I would say, 6 or 7 hours. Also what I do is add, once again, 1 drop of polysorbate 20 as a wetting agent. If you've got seeds or plant material in here, just give it an agitation every now and then, just to mix it around in your plant material. Once it's been soaking for whatever time you need, it's just a simple matter of taking the seeds out, draining off the moisture and placing them into your culture vessels. The same with the plant material. There's no need to wash them off in sterilised water or anything like that. So in that regards, it's really straightforward and easy to use. Just expensive, of course, the cost of this stuff. There is a few other chemicals out there that I'm looking at, and I'll put a couple of videos up of them, which they basically are the same as a plant preservative mixture, but are a lot cheaper. A considerable amount cheaper and easier to get hold of. So once I get hold of them and done a few tests, I'll add some more videos.